Addicted to his energy, the alien girl returned, begging the human for more. The hum of the reactor room was constant, a low, rhythmic pulse that filled the silence between two beings who never should have met. Ethan Cole leaned against the edge of a glowing console. His uniform sleeves rolled up, sweat shining faintly on his neck. The station's life support grid was failing again, and he was the only human engineer crazy enough to volunteer for a post this deep in uncharted space. He didn't expect to meet anyone here, especially her. The first time he saw her, the alien girl shimmered into existence like a mirage, a shape of light and curves that made the air vibrate. Her skin wasn't skin exactly. More like translucent quartz, veins of glowing blue energy pulsing underneath. Her eyes, too bright to be natural, watched him with a hunger he couldn't name. She'd said her name was Aelira, and that she was from a species that didn't feed on food or water, but on energy itself. When she touched him that first night, the power grid surged back to life. He thought it was coincidence. It wasn't. Scene 1, The Return. Now, weeks later, Ethan hadn't seen her since that night. He'd convinced himself it was a hallucination, a trick of exhaustion and loneliness. But as he recalibrated the fusion core, the air shimmered again. Ethan. Her voice came from behind him, soft, musical, trembling. He froze. Slowly he turned. Aelira stood there, radiant and trembling. Her body flickered between solid and energy form, as though she were barely holding herself together. "You came back," Ethan said, his voice low, almost unbelieving. Her eyes met his, glowing like twin stars. "I tried not to. I need more." She stepped closer and the lights dimmed. The air charged with static. Ethan's pulse quickened as her hand, warm and buzzing with invisible electricity, brushed his wrist. Instantly, a current jumped between them, flowing through his skin. It wasn't painful, just alive, like every nerve in his body woke up at once. Aelira gasped, her form stabilizing as her glow brightened. "Your energy. It's unlike any I've ever touched. Pure. Unfiltered. I can't." She shuddered, cutting herself off, her voice thick with shame. "I shouldn't have come." Ethan caught her hand before she could fade away. "You're dying, aren't you?" Her silence was answer enough. Into the bond. They sat by the glowing core, her light painting ripples on the metal walls. She explained in fragments. Her species once roamed the stars, feeding off solar energy and magnetic storms. But a cosmic disaster had collapsed their sun. Now, only a few of them survived, wandering between dimensions, searching for sustenance. Ethan listened, his heart tightening as she spoke. "You shouldn't feed on me," he said softly. "You could burn out my body if you take too much." "I know," she whispered. "But I can't stop thinking about the feeling of you." Her eyes glimmered with something human, longing. Ethan had no answer. The truth was, he'd thought about her too. The strange electricity that had lingered in his skin for days, the way she'd looked at him like he was her only light in the dark. He stood and reached out his hand. "Then take what you need. Just don't vanish again." Her breath caught. Then, trembling, she placed her hand over his heart. Energy surged through him again. Powerful, pure, unstoppable. He staggered, but she steadied him, their bodies glowing where they touched. Memories flashed through his mind. Her home world's crystal skies, the feeling of eternal warmth, the hum of cosmic harmony. She was sharing her essence with him, even as she drew his strength. And then, slowly, the light faded. Aelira knelt before him, tears of light falling from her eyes. "You don't understand," she said. "It's not just your energy. Your emotions, your will to live. taste like the stars I've lost. Scene 3. The consequence. Over the next few days she stayed. They fell into a strange rhythm, working together to stabilize the failing reactor, eating in the dim mess hall, trading stories of Earth and her lost galaxy. But with every connection she grew stronger, and he grew weaker. By the 5th day, Ethan could barely stand. His hands trembled as he tried to tighten a bolt on the plasma manifold. Aelira appeared beside him, her face stricken. "I can't take more from you. You'll die." He looked up at her, eyes tired but soft. "Then find another source. The fusion core." "It's not the same," she whispered. "Energy is energy. But yours is alive." She backed away, shaking her head. "I can't control it anymore. If I stay, I'll drain you." He caught her arm weakly. "Then let me choose. If my energy keeps you alive, it's worth it." Her expression twisted, grief and awe colliding. "You'd give your life for me." Ethan smiled faintly. "I'd share it." "That's different." Scene 4. The final connection. The reactor began to fail again, alarms blaring, the metal floor trembling. Ethan fell to his knees as sparks rained down. Aelira screamed his name and caught him before he hit the ground. "The station will collapse," he gasped. "You have to go." "No," she said fiercely. "Not without you." And before he could argue, she pressed her forehead against his. Light exploded between them, blinding, searing, magnificent. For an instant, Ethan felt himself dissolving, becoming part of something infinite. Her essence flooded through him, and his through her, human and alien energy entwined. When the light faded, the alarms stopped. The reactor hummed steady again. Aelira knelt beside him, glowing softly, her form now solid, alive. Ethan's body was pale, his breathing shallow, but his lips curved in a faint smile. "Looks like it worked," he whispered. Tears shimmered in her eyes. "You fool," she murmured. "You gave me everything." He reached up, weakly brushing her cheek. "Then don't waste it." And then his hand fell. Epilogue. Years later, travelers passing near the abandoned station reported seeing a woman made of starlight guarding the ruins, whispering softly to the void. They said sometimes, if you listened closely, you could hear her voice break with love and sorrow, murmuring a single name, Ethan. And beneath her glow, the reactor still pulsed, steady and warm, as if a human heartbeat lived within it, forever feeding her light. Aelira sat in the silence of the reactor chamber, her fingers tracing the faint outline of Ethan's uniform badge, still lying where he had fallen. The pulse of the core now matched her own rhythm, each beat echoing the one heart that had given itself to her. Days blurred into cycles. She didn't sleep anymore, she didn't need to. The energy within her, his energy, was endless, warm, and heartbreakingly human. It whispered memories through her veins. His laughter echoing in the mess hall, the way he used to hum when repairing conduits, the softness in his eyes when he told her she deserved to live. "I'm still here," she murmured to the empty air. "And you're still with me." Outside the viewing port, the stars wheeled endlessly, cold and distant. But one of them, a pale blue sun, flickered faintly every few moments as if answering her. She had tried to leave, once. But the further she drifted from the station, the weaker her light became. His energy had bound itself to this place. His final act was to merge with the core, ensuring it would never fail again. And so she stayed. Not out of need anymore, but devotion. Sometimes she thought she could still feel him, guiding her hands as she repaired systems.